Welcome to The Vibe. My name is Stephanie D. McKenzie, and of course, I'm super excited to bring you another episode of candid commentaries on business culture and the conversations you will not be able to stop having. As usual, I am joined by the most amazing co-host on the planet, and we're going to be talking about so many things. Hey, we're just going to get into it. It's called The Vibe. It's time for The Vibe. Welcome back. As I said, I'm always joined by the most amazing co-hosts on the planet, and you know them as Amanda, Shara, Jada, and Rael. What's going on, ladies?
Hey.
Ooh, are we ready to get into tonight's show?
Yeah. It's gonna be juicy.
Well, as usual, we're going to start this show talking about what we have on our minds. And you don't know this, but we actually talk about a lot of things before we record. And so Jada had the best thing. So Jada, I'm going to turn it over to you. What's on your mind tonight?
All right, y'all. So there's something that's trending on TikTok right now called the age of disclosure. And it's basically people sharing what they're going through in life. So like keeping it real, the struggles, the challenges, people are sharing the evictions, debt, job loss. And I have very strong feelings about it because I don't like it. Okay. It feels like struggle corn to me. And I don't like the idea of being shown things that are so vulnerable in somebody's life that I have not earned. And I actually have a couple of other reasons why I feel the way that I do about it. But the biggest thing is that I don't think that it feels almost like reality TV, but you're not even getting paid to share this stuff. And there are so many people that are jumping on this trend. And to me, that is quite alarming because you're really opening yourself up to so much, not just the criticism and the critiques, but you're like putting your life out there. And so I need to get that off my chest because it's been irking me. It's been bothering me to see it. And what are y'all thoughts on it? Because I've shared a little bit about mine. I know we talked about this a little bit, but I want to hear more because I haven't been able to talk about this in public.
I might be a little biased. I might be a little biased. The little taste.
Okay.
Now, here's my thing. I am all about decorum. It's a way that you do something. It's not in a way where you are glorifying poverty or basically, as I say, in a way of give me. Feel sorry for me because I'm telling you my problems. No, I'm telling you I'm not going to feel sorry for you because I'm going through stuff too and we can get through this. I have actually been one of those people that I actually documented my homelessness on social media. And I used my story to show people. I look at it as a testimony, but that's also because I'm somewhat religious. I'm not really religious. I'm actually spiritual. So a lot of times I feel like what you're going through is sometimes something to be shared so others can understand how to get through it. And a lot of times people don't know how to articulate that because they don't even know how to get through what they're already going through. So that's the reason why it's almost like a double-edged sword for me, because what you're seeing is basically poverty born, but what it really, to me, what it is people trying to create a fellowship to where, hey, you feel like you're drowning. They just don't know how to articulate that. Put it like this. Everybody don't need to be a content creator. I'm just going to be honest. Everybody ain't meant to be a doctor. Everybody ain't meant to be a therapist. Everybody ain't meant to be president.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And I do agree that it can happen when I think you tell that story after you've come through it and you found a solution and you can talk about the way you came out of it. But I think what Jada is saying is that the exposure disclosure era or whatever?
Age of disclosure.
Oh, age of disclosure. I think what they're doing, and I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really speak to it 100%, but I think what they're doing is just it's like an amen corner. Like, let me talk about all of my struggles so that I can receive some sympathy and support. And, we can touch and agree on it or whatever. And I feel like touching and agreeing on poverty is crazy time, first of all. And it can also, it also exacerbates it, and it just creates more poverty. So if we don't have a solution to it, if nobody's coming up with a way to get around it, then let's stop talking just about the hardship and now bring in something or someone who can start bringing some sort of closure to that and saying, okay, I hear you now. Now let's do X, Y, and Z and bring people in who can talk about, maybe it should be like the age of overcoming
I can agree with that.
poverty or whatever. You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody else needs to start a new little trend that says, okay, now we've talked about the problem. Let's talk about the solution now.
Facts.
Oh, you're muted, Steph.
I was muted, y'all. What? Okay, so there's a creator. Oh, I have so many thoughts. There's a creator that has a conversation that kind of daily. And the one thing that I've noticed that they've talked about is, should broke men date? And I don't know if you're familiar with that particular creator, but I'm like, y'all have been talking about this same topic for weeks. When are we going to talk about how to get unbroke? Like, I'm kind of like, I don't discuss my financial challenges. I don't even discuss my financial wins unless I'm talking to somebody that gets it, because I don't need anybody hating on the fact that I had a $10,000 day. I don't need anybody hating on the fact that I got $7,000 randomly in the mail. I don't need somebody being like, because there are people that love to commiserate over misery. Like they love that. It's struggle porn. It's trauma. I mean, it's a lot of energy. I definitely agree with Shara. And I feel like a lot of times people are just telling these stories, and can we even get to the part where we say a lot of them are not accurate? There are some people that are telling struggle stories and they did not struggle. I'll be the first one to tell you, I grew up upper middle class. I don't know boo about that. I didn't grow up hard. Oh my God. No. And the reason why I tell that story is because there's a lot of other people that grew up upper middle class, and they want to tell you how they grew up in the projects and had to walk uphill both ways. And it's a lie. Right. In fact, I could tell you one person whose story about how they were bullied as a young girl is a complete fabrication. I won't name them. I'll tell y'all later though. But it's a complete fabrication. People are like, oh my God, that's so amazing. You overcame being bullied. When people that are from that area that she's saying she's from, there's like, who bullied you, babe? Because
when the receipt don't match the purchase.
Like, you still got the magnetic thing on that. It's giving booster.
We don't remember that happening.
Like, it's bullying in the room with us.
I'm sorry. That's what it was sounding like. The receipt don't match the purchase, baby. What we talking about?
It doesn't. But we love to hear those stories about how somebody went from rags to riches. But a lot of people, they didn't have rags. They just telling you that story.
That's real.
Big time. Big time. I mean, there's a lot of, because again, people love to agree on misery, right? People love misery. They love drama, and they love to feel like they're being heard and they're being understood. So the way to connect with those people is to talk about the struggle game, where everybody did not come from struggle, not in that respect, not with money, we all had struggles when we were growing up, but everybody's struggle is not the same. But I find that a lot of these coaches and aspiring coaches and fake doctors want to come across as someone who, I want to come across as somebody who can relate to the common folk, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Why you getting ahead of yourself?
I really don't like I don't like people who poverty shame though. So that's kind of a thing. Like, people do fall on hard times, and it can feel very isolating. So I think in one sense that it's good to be able to share with other people who can relate. But I also see the other side of that, where you don't want to be stuck in that mode where struggle becomes like the comfortable place to speak from. You don't want that to be the comfortable story. But I think that I don't really have a problem with people wanting to express, with myself even going through it right now. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to go share it all online, but I guess I don't really have any strong feelings against it. I just would caution people to not let that become the story.
Yeah, I can get
Yeah.
with that. And I feel like the thing I want to add, like a little bit of nuance, is that I'm not opposed to people sharing their journeys or sharing their challenges, or even like what they're over, or even what they're facing and overcoming it. Especially like how Real shared, like you documented your journey. Like it wasn't just oh my God, my life is terrible. And I'm sure like you had just your energy, like I'm sure there was like an air of optimism to it,
The
like
whole
this.
thing of it was optimism.
Right.
It's perception. That's what I think the issue is perception. And I think
Exactly.
that's exactly what you're talking about, is it's being perceived as you're glorifying basically your situation instead of what are we doing to fix it. And that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, it was proactive. Like with this, like especially with it being the trend and everybody sharing it, I'm a person that gets frustrated when people aren't giving me solutions. I don't even like
Girl.
sharing it. Like if you're, and then my question would be to anybody that's sharing it, what is your ultimate goal in sharing this? Because you're putting it on the internet. You're not choosing to have this conversation privately. I'm not telling anybody that you shouldn't have the conversation at all. But what I am saying is that if you are if you are broadcasting this online, then you ultimately have a goal with this. So is your goal to get support? Is your goal for people to donate to your GoFundMe? Is your goal to see who can help you to achieve or attain certain things? Like what is your goal? Is your goal attention? Because there are people, like, you have to be honest about that. Like they're like, what are your intentions with sharing it is basically where my stance is on it, because I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing, being open and vulnerable, but ultimately, what's the goal? What are we doing this for?
That's so good, because I think that's where it gets twisted. Like with anything, why are you sharing this? Like, why are with anything, be it good, be it not so good, why are you sharing it? Are you sharing it because it's going to help someone, and you have a pure motive in doing that? Are you sharing it because you want the clicks and the like and the bait? Because I mean, we do live in a world of clickbait. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna stir something up. Stir it up. I don't understand people that. Okay, this is gonna sound horrible, y'all.
You want to say some messed up shit? I'm ready. Let me sit all the way fuck back.
That part. I'm like, I don't understand people recording themselves crying and then like airing it. I understand being on live and getting emotional because it's happened to me. Can you do y'all have thoughts on that? Please tell
I
me y'all
got
have
big
thoughts on
thoughts
that.
on it.
You gonna get
Big
out my
thoughts.
business. That's what you gonna do.
I think it depends, honestly. I think it depends on the circumstance, because if I've seen some videos of like women who are trapped in abusive relationships, and maybe they're sharing that they're with a narcissistic partner and they're trying to help other women to identify the signs, and they're feeling, maybe something just happened to them. Could be a cry for help. I don't know. But in those instances, I think you can tell the difference between when it's genuine and when they BSing, when it's for attention.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why I say I think it depends.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if it's a cry for real help, yes, but even if it but even if it's genuine and you're going through something, I think that it's important to be very, very conscious of what you're sharing on this space, because people don't understand when you show up that super vulnerable like that. And y'all know, well, some of you know me, but those of you who do not know, I focus a lot on, helping people protect their energy and close certain doorways that they've left open, because that's when attacks can start coming in. Help can come in. I can't with you right now. I cannot. I can't with you right now.
But you should, because I'm great. No.
But the thing is that, this is an airwave and energy and all kinds of energies and frequencies and things of that nature travel through air waves. I'm not going to get too deep into it because this ain't that type of show. But when you are, I don't know if everybody going to catch it, but because we got to go deeper. But when you open yourself up that way on a, with that intense emotion, you got a lot of folk and energies watching you. And if people feel like, oh, I can take advantage of this, they may offer false help. You know what I'm saying? They may air you out. They may use it against you. We've seen it happen so many times. So if it is a cry for help, a genuine cry for help, that I get that 100%, because sometimes that's all you have. And that has saved lives, right?
Yes.
But when you're on here crying because you can't pay your rent, or because one of your friends talked bad about you, and all your life people have just talked bad about you, or whatever it is, it's just like, okay, let's find somebody else that you can do that with. Send it to some friends, or find one person on the internet who you can trust, and then y'all share that. So that's my thing on that.
I have a quick question about that, because I think that certain groups of people are judged more harshly for showing vulnerability and emotion than other groups. And I'll say, perhaps, do you think that race might play a factor in that? A white woman, we've all heard about white women's tears, and how that gets a lot of attention from people and immediate, help or assistance, like damsel in distress. But if it's a black woman or another woman of color being so vulnerable, that's not quite as acceptable, and it's not seen the
I
same
agree
way.
with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I definitely think that is it. The black women get it the harshest, and it also isn't met with as much sympathy or empathy as other groups. And I personally cry on the internet all the time. If y'all don't follow
you
my
in my
I
business.
am always crying in my I'm a cry. Like that's something I said I was going to make on a t-shirt or something. I'm a cry. But I don't see crying, I don't equate it to vulnerability, because I feel like then I would have to actually be telling you where my tears are coming from. Like I just see them as a response, as a reaction. And so sometimes if it's a good piece of content, like you're gonna get this thug tear. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like if it makes you uncomfortable, that is quite literally not my problem. If it bothers you, keep scrolling, but I don't necessarily I just don't see it as like opening up unless I choose to share the origin of it. But all that to say that I do believe that Black women, especially when we finally do, because for many of us, we don't even cry, like we don't even really show emotions, like we don't feel safe in our own bodies in order to really like allow those tears to flow when they need to. And so when we do finally get to that point, for a lot of us, it is like we hit like a breaking point, like that's like, it's something like switch, like it's like, oh, I got this. And I don't like the fact that it feels like so many times we have to get to that point before our feelings are even really acknowledged or taken seriously. But yeah,
that sounds like a big problem to me, for sure.
Definitely.
I agree 100% on that one. Yep.
I think what I liked about what you said was that I think we equate crying to being vulnerable, and I'm like, no, that's just being emotional. Like, and I'm a very emotional person, right? And so I feel like the fact that I'm sharing with you at all is, especially on Rihanna's internet, where anybody can come across this thing and either, enjoy it, weaponize it, whatever the case may be. I feel like that is that's an act of vulnerability.
Right.
No tears needed, none of that. But I will say that I don't have a problem with people crying. I do have a problem with people fake crying and using and weaponizing tears and all of this. I really have a problem with that, because I've seen so many people do it in business, and people are like, oh my God, you're crying. Let me buy your program. Really? But every time I see you live, you crying. Every single time you crying. There ain't that much crying in the world, Craig. Like I feel like you got Visine next to your camera and you just like, okay, all right. But
We're
my
not
program is on sale. Like I'm like, man. And so to a certain degree, it's almost like you bastardize true emotion when you weaponize it for your own gain. You don't have, baby, if you got to cry to sell it, maybe you don't need to sell that. That's all I have to say about that. Is it a problem?
Agreed. No, agreed. You want to know? I feel like it just brings up like where I may be a little more like optimistic and naive about it, and I just really don't like the idea that there are people that are weaponizing it, and I don't want to live in a world where that happens. But it is. I know that it happens, so I get that. I get it.
I didn't think she was weaponizing it the first time. It was after it became a daily thing that I was like, wait a minute. Weren't you just crying yesterday?
Yeah.
Although alligator tears.
About the same thing yesterday. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Too soon.
I said, I can't. That's it. That's all.
Definitely says the quiet part out loud. That's why I love Steph. What's so crazy, y'all? I want y'all to know right now. Stephanie's our producer, and I want y'all to know Stephanie says the quiet part so eloquently out loud. If you need to know how to cuss somebody out businessly with elegance, bing, over there. Right over there.
Businessly is my favorite word. Right
businessly, I'm a thug. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh,
exactly. Exactly. People don't realize the real thugs are in business suits. Can we just say what it is?
Corporate thug.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. All right. Thuggerella over there out here slinging deals.
What, I'm slinging brands?
Right. I'm slinging brands.
Well, can somebody buy one? Because I'm not finna cry for you people. You're just gonna have to get some money and come on.
That part.
Like, what are we doing here?
That part. You ain't gonna catch me crying. Sorry. I'm a real thug. I'm a real thug. These thugs don't cry, y'all. This thug don't cry.
No, see, I'm a different I feel like and whoop at the same time. I don't care. I do not care. I don't.
Because if I'm crying because I'm angry,
that's it.
A problem. We have a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm sorry. I'm an emotional thug. I will cuss you out, be crying, and I will call you everything underneath the sun but a child of God. I do not care. Because let's be honest, can we just really call it what it is? Vulnerability, whether it's black, white, indigo, and violet, vulnerability makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know why? Vulnerability has been taken away because of the fact of patriarchal society. At the end of the day, all I'm going to say is Jesus wept. But then if a man can cry, but yet we have an issue with identifying people crying in general because it's seen as weak or whatever the case might be, people relate crying to vulnerability because they look at crying as weakness. Any type of form of emotion in general is shown as weakness. And so if you show emotion, they look at it as weakness, so they look at it as femininity. Ooh. So now we are generalizing emotions. Now we're saying that emotions are a feminine trait. So that's the reason why you got your cousin Pookie and them knocking his girlfriend in between the washer and dryer every other weekend.
Yeah.
Why do they forget anger is an emotion? How come they never think about that? They have emotions. They're more emotional than anybody, but they don't have the range. They just don't have the range of emotion.
Yeah.
That's
anger or excitement. Like, that's it.
That is the problem. Everything right now that we are experiencing, every conversation we're having to have, if you can pinpoint, it'll go back to patriarchy. At some point, it's going to go back to patriarchy. It's the great grandfather of all the BS. Whether you want to accept it or not, patriarchy don't work for nobody. It ain't been working for nobody. It's not going to work for anybody. It's not going to perform because you know what patriarchy has? Ego. That is the reason why you have white people thinking that they are better or superior, because it resides in ego. And that is all because of patriarchy. Patriarchy creates this monolith of I have to be better. I have to be the best. I have to be the greatest. That's stupid, because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to do the same thing, live. And when you're worrying about who's living better than the other, nobody's focusing on living. They're focusing on they're focusing on quantity and not quality. And that's what we're living in. We don't have a quality of life because people are worried about the quantity of the life. Sad.
That whole part right there. I agree with that.
But 100%. The main problem is, when is enough enough? In all aspects. Let's talk about it. Because guess what? Your girl is doing what's the problem? The problem is these dudes are not lonely enough. But that's not really the point. The point of the matter is that I'm trying to figure out, I think there's always going to be a homegirl that you got. You got a Megan homegirl and you got a Cardi homegirl. Everybody raise your hand if I'm not lying. Everybody has had a Cardi. Think about it. Everybody has had a Meg homegirl and a Cardi homegirl. Now, why I'm bringing this up, when is enough enough? Both scenarios have cheating, right or wrong. Cardi B, Stefon Diggs cheated, right? Megan Thee Stallion.
The verdict still out on that. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
You mean the DNA test for the last one is not out? Is that what you're saying?
She likes men with crunchy hair. Go ahead, Real. Do your thing. I'm done. I can't be attracted to somebody whose hair is crunchy.
Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
I don't know. Because I spend a lot of money like
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Crunch is wild.
Hey, Vaseline sponsor us. But anyway, the point of the matter.
S-curl, come on. No.
Just let your soul out.
This gonna be an ad for Blue Magic or what?
Blue Magic. You know what? Focus. What you were saying, Real?
I'm sorry. Before or after the hair started to glow? What? Which one?
So we're saying that Stefon cheated on Cardi, and we know that Klay cheated on Meg.
Correct. Now here's the thing, though. Both of these ladies took two different approaches. People are talking about how they're seeing Cardi B and Stefon right now recently with pictures and everything else, because Stefon Diggs has a foundation he created that is supposed to be for single women and children. They saw Cardi B and him all hugged up. And then now you see Megan having a hot girl spring break, rolling that mug into the summer. And I'm not mad at it. But here's the reality of what it is. The conversation that people don't really want to talk about. When is enough enough? And when are you really realizing that one of your friends may be further in life while the other one is not? Money does not equate furtherness. That is the conversation that we're not having. Because both of these ladies are what? Entrepreneurs. They both have businesses. They both have a lot of money. They also have a lot of likability, and they have a big platform. But both of them move differently. Here's the reality of what it is. Megan said the first time was enough. Cardi, I don't know when enough will be enough. Because the reality of what it is, you left a husband that cheated on you multiple times. You continue to get pregnant for this man, which I'm not knocking you. That was your husband. You did what you wanted to do. And I'm not judging any woman for any decisions they made. I've been boo-boo the fool a few times. We ain't going to talk about that. But the point is that the reality of what it is when enough girl, stop counting. I lost count too. Don't do that. The point is you ain't supposed to keep count, because I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not counting.
If he ain't make you nothing, he don't count. I said it. If he ain't make you nothing, he don't count. That body don't even count.
Get that.
That don't even count. I'm sorry. I said it.
Amen.
If he didn't make you nothing, it don't count. I'm going to say it again. If it didn't work, it don't work.
So I need to go back and recalculate then.
Exactly.
or you're at zero.
I'm going to need you to recalibrate the miles on that dash, because it's incorrect.
I'm at zero.
It's a new engine.
Yeah.
New engine.
What?
It doesn't matter.
Warranty plan. Warranty plan, babes. What?
Oh my goodness.
What you mean?
First of all, body count does not matter.
It doesn't.
I will stand on that hill forever.
Your focus needs more focus.
But I love that Meg said what she said, and she was done with it. She hasn't addressed anything else that I've seen.
No.
She said what she said. How many? I said what I said. and she stood on business, and she's been out doing autographs. She's been out hanging out with the girlies. She is living it up. Okay. And I love that for her. I love the way the ladies rallied around Meg when I don't understand this, but how Meg is being called the 304 when Klay is the 304 and documents his 304ness in his 304 diary. It is insane to me.
A 304 diary is wild.
He got a
Yeah,
whole diary.
Insane.
I think
It is
we need
wild.
another banner.
he got something going on with him, child. I mean, all
Yes,
cheaters,
he has
all
a
cheaters have
304
something going
diary.
on. Yeah.
I think he's going through an identity crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I think his Oreo is literally flipping. Like I think he's going through. I think he's going through. I'm so serious. I think he's going through an identity crisis. Because let's look at his track record and history. We can pull it up if we want to. Most of the women he predominantly dated at one point were Caucasian women. Let's call it what it is, right? And also his mom. She's a Caucasian woman. Now I'm.
You should not be able to come up with these that fast.
Crazy if that number exists. Hey, go buy that number.
That needs to be studied.
Oh my goodness! And if you don't answer, we're helping another hoe. Just wait in line. Anyway, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Okay, I'm just saying, hoeing waits for no man. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. But no, okay, I'm done. I promise. Not, but okay. The point of reality is, I think he's having identity crisis, and I think he needed Megan in order to further establish himself as a man. Because a lot of time, trifling, but no. And the reality of what it is, you got to think about it. A lot of people, and this is not saying that he is not a notable player. This is not saying that he did not have his own shine. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is only so much percentage of the world watch sports. Everybody knows who Meg Thee Stallion is. I'm sorry. You can't go nowhere and not know who that woman is. But you're going to find a lot of people that don't know who Klay Thompson is. Mm-hmm. That's the reality of what it is. And at the end of the day, I didn't even pay attention to this man until he started dating her. I said, what's that? Oh, that is Klay, ain't it? Oh, okay. It's just like, basically, Megan is like everybody's favorite homegirl that we all felt connected to in some kind of way, like a little sister, a cousin, or whatever the case might be, to where we're like, I don't see that for you, but girl, go ahead. So that's your, okay, then we're going to accept them into the family. It's fine. Just like none of us really thought that was Stefon was going to work for Cardi. But the reality of it is, because we want to support women's decision and their right to do what they want to do, we supported it, even though we knew they weren't going.
And let me just add on to this because Stephen A. Smith, and I find it very interesting how men do this. When he started talking about the situation, which I don't know why, but okay, he was speaking on it. The first thing that he does to try to like defend Klay is talk about his accomplishments when it comes to basketball. Like, oh, he beat Steph Curry in the shootout or whatever stuff he was saying. But I just thought that was really wild. Like that, his professional career and the way he shows up in relationships is two different things. And I don't think that it was an appropriate response to that. I mean, he could still be an amazing athlete and have character problems in relationships.
Yeah, and most of them do. So I don't even know why we're talking about this like it's like groundbreaking information. They stay cheating. They literally created where they can do it and continue to do it, and they support them in it. Like that's a whole other organization behind the organization. So I don't get why we're now trying to make it seem like this is all Megan's fault for his choice as a grown man. I hate it. But what I will say though, getting back to Cardi, I have a son. He is 10 years old. And when me and his father were when I finally decided that I was like, yeah, it's not looking too great for us. It's giving co-parenting. And the
way you said it.
It was.
All I heard was it's giving bargain bin. I'm just gonna.
It's giving count me out.
It's
My
giving
bad.
attorney general. Okay, great.
Yeah. I'm good.
The
Tried it
thing
out.
is, all I
Didn't work.
heard to do.
The wrong size. Didn't fit. So I was just like, I had made up in my mind. I had made up in my mind before it actually was official, you know. And so like whenever we would like I was fortunate because we were after a while we ended up being long distance because he was in another state. And so that helped with the process because I didn't have to like really interact with him. But anytime that we would come back together, I would find myself like having those feelings again, and like just like seeing all of us together, and how my original desire was for us to be a family. You know, like I was like, we're here now. This wasn't the plan, but we're here now. And I wanted my son to be able to have his father around, and I wanted us to, you know, to be together. And so I would still have like those feelings and like that familiarity and that connection. And so it wasn't like a clean break all the way. It was like we was gone, it was done, but I was kind of like, oh, like I don't know, maybe I should, you know, I was like doubting myself and doubting my decision. And I want to say that maybe lasted over like a year from when I had like made up in my mind, or I had the thought, but it wasn't like a made up, because I didn't actually go follow through with it. But when I finally did, then it was like a clean break. But again, I feel like the distance really helped, because there is like this weird connection that you have and that you feel, and even just like, you know, grieving the life that you didn't have with this person and the family. So I can understand how Cardi could be in the situation that she's in right now, where that might, like, they have a connection. And so, not to say that I'm excusing it or saying that she doesn't deserve better, but what I am saying is that does make the situation a little bit stickier. And like I can get it. And if she got the means to go and see that man whenever she wants to, you know.
It is a Jet 2 holiday. But
not stickier.
Why would you point that out?
I love that.
Y'all, I just, you know, the way my germaphobe self is set up, I don't find men with oodles of kids attractive, you know, by oodles of different women. Like, bruh, no, that is not attractive. I don't care how much money you have. That is, I'm literally inviting myself to a drama party.
Correct.
But a lot of the kids they were still in the oven, and they were like surprised, right? So wasn't that a thing? Like Cardi didn't know that he had one or two other women pregnant. Am I wrong? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
He had kids already. Like, that was a messy situation. My thing is, how do you hear multiple kids and be like, "Ooh, they just turned me on"? Like, they just
that part.
Ooh, I just want to jump you. You got 6 of them. And like, no, that don't give me
little ones at that.
When a man says more than 2 kids, I'm like, ooh, you fertile. Let me back up.
You're a problem.
Yeah. That means you like to shoot up the club. I feel like in 2026, when there's strains of gonorrhea and syphilis that, you know, don't respond to the medication protocol, what we're not going to do is let reckless, wanton things come into the temple of the goddess. Like, bruh, you shoot up clubs, you're going to need to bring some paperwork, lots of it. Like, I'm sorry, not sorry, stop. Like, I don't know why we think that's attractive. I don't know. I could go off on a whole tangent here. I don't know why we think that's attractive. I don't know why we think it's okay. I triple don't know why we think it's okay just because they have money. I don't know why we in the Black community really seem to be so far gone to say, oh, well, he's a millionaire. He can make 30 broken homes if he wants to. You sound ignorant.
No, why? Because he's a man.
I want to catch the woman that said that. I want to catch the woman
that said Facebook, that. I'll tag you.
And if she has children, I really want to see about her. Yeah. Because that don't even make a lick of sense. It don't make a lick of sense.
By the way, I want to go back to what Stephanie said. Okay, yes, if you have lots of kids, you've got to bring lots of paperwork. But please, ladies, require the paperwork regardless of the number of children.
That
okay,
part.
Please,
absolutely, absolutely, positively.
Yes,
definitely.
And require hair product. have a standard of hair products. I think
No crunchy hair.
no
Big
crunchy
Daddy is
hair.
all get out. I
And the
swear.
crunches don't need to be clean.
I'm like,
Hattie LaBelle, top tier. Hattie LaBelle.
dude, I feel like you're a multimillionaire. Like, there's no excuse for that. Like, tell Shaquita to put some oil on that. I don't know. I can't.
Why she gotta be Shaquita? Her name might be
I don't
Brandon.
know because that's what came to my brain. Shaquita. Okay, is Linda better? Tell Linda to put some oil in your hair and blow it out a
Linda
little
is
bit.
like the way other side of the spectrum. That is wild.
That is. I mean, she was.
No, don't change a thing.
Hair bothers me. I'm sorry.
Oh my
It bothers me a lot. Like if I had to roll over and see that hair,
Nightmares.
The other point that I
No.
wanted to make about Cardi, though, real quick, is people tend to forget where she comes from and what her programming is. You know what I mean? So I know she has money and all of that, but she's also from, where's she from? The Bronx. She was a stripper for a long time. And when you come from those types of environments and you're surrounded by people who do not hold relationships sacred, and nearly every guy you've ever been with has always cheated on you, you're used to that style of treatment. So you're used to being in those situations. And so therefore she's working, we all say, yes, she deserves better and she should make better choices, but she's working against her subconscious program that has been with her longer than her money and her status has. So I'd like for people to remember that we're not always a product of our environment, right? Everybody doesn't become a product of their environment, but some people do. Mm-hmm. And while she has come into fame and fortune, I don't think that she's done a ton of healing work, not around relationship issues and men and how she values herself and things of that nature. So not to excuse her behavior or what her choices or anything, but I just think it's important to remember that when we're talking about these types of situations.
So my question is for all you ladies in your vote of this conversation, bringing it back to we have a Megan girl, homegirl, and we have a Cardi. Would you naturally say, based on your observation, that Megan is in a more healed state of mind or thinking than Cardi is?
I think it's too soon to say.
Correct.
Right. I say that only because Meg could go back. Like, we have seen women who have made really grand announcements. I'm not saying hers was the grand. We made it grand. She ain't making it grand.
She's an Aquarius.
Even with that, okay, she might go along with her sign, but I like to watch. I like to give it a little bit of time, only because I've seen them flip flop a lot, and I know how relationships are. Even outside of celebrities, where people often go back, it's not always like this clean break that people describe. Like, I feel like some people do, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I do feel like more often than not, what I see is like people, it'd be a little double dipping going on. So like right now, I would say yes, but that's only if she holds that stance.
That's why I say she's an Aquarius. She holding it. Because once I publicly humiliate myself to an extent, I'm being funny, by the way. But no, I say this to say that I feel like the place that she's in her life, because we got to think about it. Think what Megan is like, what, 31, 32? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in 30 something years, let's think, because everybody on the platform here is in their age. I feel like at some point once you allow me to be embarrassed enough, I think, and especially because I think what she did was a great PR move. Before anybody else could announce it and embarrass herself, she said, I'm going to control the narrative and I'm putting it out there. I'm so sorry. Okay, well.
I hope that Megan does not allow this man another opportunity to embarrass her, because these men will try to get with the most Like he was, to me, it almost gives clout chasing. He was trying to get the most accomplished, the best woman that he could find just to embarrass her and humble her, because then all the men go big him up. So I hope she doesn't give him another chance to embarrass her and
Not
use
the
her
I hope
highlight.
not. I hope
The
not
highlight.
too.
I don't know, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. He's an Aquarius. They Aquarian men, boo. Anyway, as a fellow
Oh,
Aquarius,
why are they trash?
Aquarius
No,
men
Talk, talk to
these
y'all
men are
guys.
horrible.
Talk to
y'all,
y'all guys.
I
y'all, they are
can't.
titanium with meatballs. Like, hear me good. Like, oh my god. Here's the thing though,
I'm behind.
and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Listen, you don't know what goes on between a man and a woman that we will never see, hear about, or experience. And so, if at some point those two people come back around for whatever reason, hey, it can happen. My thing is, let's not come back together in the same chaos that we left in. Because people
That
do
part.
change and they do grow and they do heal. And my good friend Cheryl Prophet down there that talks about the subconscious mind and wealth and hypnotherapy and all the goodness, she will tell you. But what we can't do is keep circling around in the same nonsense. And I think
Yes.
that's something that we see a lot. You know, like you said,
Yes.
you got your Cardi homegirl, you got your Meg homegirl, and you see people, they just circling around the drama because really it's a sign of codependency. Like, let's keep it a buck. Because if I'm not requiring you to be able to come back into my orbit, I'm not requiring you to shift what you're bringing to the table. Like, oh, you brought candy corn before. Oh, yum, I love candy corn. If you're not requiring filet mignon, then that is on you, because either you haven't figured out that you actually deserve filet mignon, or you've really developed a great taste for candy corn and you just can't let it go. Either way,
That's real.
either way,
That's
Yeah.
I think
real.
the problem is that we are not clear about what healthy relationships look like. I think we get caught up in the potentiality, I may have made that word up, of people that we encounter personally, professionally, and even entrepreneurially. And if you have a good heart, and you care about people, like it's men out here in my life, they think I really love them. And I'm like, boo, why do you think I love you? Oh, you built me a website, bruh. That was like Tuesday and it took me 2 hours. This is what I do. Don't get
Can
excited.
we talk about it though? Why?
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You made a very valid point that I need you to understand. I'm a good person. That don't mean I like you.
That
I'm
part.
trying to get my heaven points because I just cussed out somebody else for cutting me off 3 cars back. I don't
part.
care about you like that.
That
Sir,
part.
I'm
It
just
was
a good
Tuesday.
person.
It was
That's it.
Tuesday. I was bored. Relax. That's all.
I mean, and I think what the problem is, because I think what the issue is, people have made relationships the bare minimum. And actually, no, I'm sorry, they didn't make them. They've always been the bare minimum. Let's really call it what it is. A man being a provider, coming home. Like, let's think about it. How many people know they had a grandma and grandma on them? They had another set of people on the other side of the street that they was kin to, and y'all found out about it years later because Papa was a Rolling Stone. Because back then, guess what? Grandma couldn't have her own bank account. She tolerated that stuff because of survival. We are birthed out of survival mode.
But then we also talk about they didn't get to be stay-at-home moms either. The women, especially the sisters, they always had to work. Even though they couldn't get a bank account or a credit card or buy a house, they still had to go to work, come home, and then work some more.
Mm-hmm.
That works. That's all I'm saying. Realistically, we are seeing the fallout again of what? Patriarchy. Like I've been saying before, it is patriarchy. That's it. That's why that Milano cookie thought he could do what he did. It don't make no sense. Because he thought he was going to be able to do what he did.
And call it polyamory.
Are you calling Klay a Milano cookie?
Yes, he's mixed, right?
So listen, next week on the show,
can we get a Milano sponsorship now?
Maybe. Pepperidge Farm.
Get at us. But what is that? Pepperidge Farm. Get at us.
Pepperidge Farm.
Get at us.
I see a cookie deal coming.
I see a cookie deal. We will eat cookies on camera just for
Oreos.
We'll do it.
And then on top of it, look at the beautiful women on this. Can we stop for a second? We got a cookie color for every. Look at this. Do y'all see this? All this beautifulness. Stop and take a look at this. I'm not even talking about me. Look at all this beautifulness. You got a cookie color for every woman. Look at that. You got a macadamia nut over there right there. You got a nice little chocolate chip right over there. You got that dark chocolate with double chunks of chocolate right there. I don't know what I am, but still, we got all the kinds that you need.
You a snickerdoodle. You a snickerdoodle girl.
Come on, then, spicy.
We're the box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Unless you bite
They
us.
can't sponsor us.
Okay.
Yeah, come through with the sponsorship deal. Listen, who did we call out? Pepperidge Farm, and it was somebody else earlier.
Oreos,
and then it was somebody else.
Milano. Blue Magic.
Blue Magic.
Blue Magic, yes. And S Curl. Oh my gosh, y'all, we could do this all night, but we won't. Listen, I know we've got a few more things we want to talk about, but I tell you what, let's save them a little something for next week. I want to get out of here, guys. Any parting words for those who are watching and listening online? Jada, what's your parting word for our audience?
Try to say anything, y'all. Be careful what you share online, please. Just take a smidge, just a little second, and think: do I need to put this online, or do I need to phone a friend? That's all I got.
Real.
Do I hit send or do I hit backspace delete?
delete.
Sometimes maybe you need a moment of pause. And you know what? There's this app called Black Moon Rituals that can offer you that for free. A place where you can pause, reflect, journal.
Shameless
Before you, yes, it is very shameless. But before you
let's help you out. Let's help you out with a little banner. Here we go.
It's so good. It's such a good app. I love it so much. It's so good.
Let's help her out with the shameless plug. We love shameless plugs though.
Oh,
yeah. We'll give you shameless plugs and Blue Magic. We will be shameless for you. Okay, great. Rail, what's your parting words for our audience?
Condoms, buy them.
I like it. Shara?
Don't talk about your problems, fix them. And if you need help with that, come holler at me, for real. If you got money problems, if you're struggling financially, can't pay your bills, don't get wrapped up in the age of disclosure or whatever it's called, the disclosure age.
No, you did it right.
Okay, age of disclosure. Don't get wrapped up in that, baby. Just get some help because you can fix those problems. There's support here. There's real support.
Facts. Amanda?
Well, I'll do the shameless plug once again. So before you go, spilling your guts online, sharing personal information, being all kinds of vulnerable. Maybe sometimes you just need to take a moment to reflect, to journal, get it out, but in a safe way with Black Moon Rituals. Thank you.
Y'all gonna stop this shameless plug nonsense. My parting words are, at the end of the day, make sure you catch the vibe, check the vibe, and next time make sure that you watch the vibe, and we're out of here. Bye.